This might be the first major break of the NFL offseason. Most NFL training camps haven't even started yet, but the first big quarterback injury of the summer has already happened. And while I would never wish injury on anyone, I truly wouldn't, and I genuinely hope Will Levis makes a full recovery, this news could quietly be a huge win for the Atlanta Falcons. Let me explain why. First off, anytime there's a quarterback injury, the phones are ringing in the NFL. And for a team like Atlanta, who just so happens to have a veteran quarterback not expecting to start, this could change everything. Now, Kirk Cousins, for those who don't know, is still on the Atlanta Falcons roster. And even though the Falcons are adamant that he'll be the backup behind rookie Michael Penix Jr., let's be real. The NFL is unpredictable. And if a playoff caliber team suddenly finds themselves without a starting quarterback, the Falcons may be sitting on the most valuable insurance policy in the NFL. That's why this Will Levis injury is so significant. Now, I don't expect the Titans to make a move for Cousins. It just doesn't make sense. They just drafted Cam Ward, and they're not exactly ready to contend in 2025. But this injury reminds the rest of the league how fragile the quarterback position is. And all it takes is one or more team to go down with a major quarterback injury, and suddenly Kirk Cousins becomes the most attractive trade chip on the entire market. Now, for those who don't know, remember Kirk Cousins signed a 4-year, $180 million deal with Atlanta. What was that, 2 off seasons ago? No, last off season. Wow. But just weeks later, the Falcons shocked the world by drafting Michael Penix Jr. And at the end of last season, Michael Penix had already replaced Cousins after some time. We all know this story. But now, Atlanta has 2 starting caliber quarterbacks in a league where injuries are guaranteed. Cousins, despite having a quote-unquote terrible year, still threw for 3,500 yards and 18 touchdowns last year, despite leading the league in picks and battling through a quote-unquote shoulder injury that clearly affected him late in the season. So yes, he's not the long-term guy for Atlanta, but he can still help a contender on any team. And if the Vikings, Broncos, Seahawks, or even the Raiders suffer a major quarterback injury in camp, you better believe the calls are going to come in. In Atlanta, they have the leverage because they really, truly don't need to move Kirk Cousins. They've got the cap space flexibility. They've got the future franchise guy in Michael Penix Jr., and they've got a front office who's already shown that they're willing to be bold. If people like it or not, they've shown the ability to be bold. So Falcons fans, this is why the Will Levis injury matters. It's not about the Titans. It's about the remainder of the league knowing that quarterback depth matters. And no one has a better safety net or more tradable QB asset than the Atlanta Falcons right now. I will say this as well. I don't wish any harm on anybody. I really don't. But the Atlanta Falcons are in win-now mode. This GM, this head coach could be out of the door next year. And that, to some fans, is guaranteed if they don't win games. At the end of the day, Michael Penix is a baller. He really is. And I would leverage anyone's future on him. But there's one thing that kind of is his Achilles heel, and that's health. If the Atlanta Falcons are leveraging this whole season on the emergence of Michael Penix Jr. and he gets injured, this is the ideal backup quarterback to have just in case. And that makes me believe the Atlanta Falcons are happy to have Kirk Cousins on the team because just in case things go all wrong, they can rely on Kirk Cousins, who about 2 or 3 years ago was a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. So regardless of who needs Kirk Cousins, if they decide to trade him, at the end of the day, the Atlanta Falcons, I know they're paying him $30+ million a year. But at the end of the day, if they push all their chips in and they're trying to win right now, which they are, and things don't work out, and Michael Penix knock on wood, gets hurt or something happens to him, they can rely on Kirk Cousins, which I think is the best backup quarterback in the NFL right now. Now, if you agree or disagree, leave a comment down below. Let me know how you let me know how you feel about Kirk Cousins. And if you want to see more videos like this, check this one out right here. And like always,